Let's make the Cymbidium orchid now. The Cymbidium orchid base or column is what we'll start with. So I'm going to hook a 22 gauge wire. 22 gauge wire here. This is a little bit stiffer wire, so I do want to use my pliers to bend it over. I'm just going to do just a small hook about 1/4 of an inch for that small hook. There, that's prepared. And I'm going to make a column on here. I'm using pale green gum paste for this. Cymbidiums come in many colors, but I like this particular color, the color that was in the intro, and I feel starting with a very pale color of the color that I plan to continue on with the theme works quite nicely. So you can barely see that it's green. I used juniper green, just a little bit of juniper green to make this a pale color. And I'm going to take off a pea-sized piece of paste for this. Just a pea-sized piece of paste. And for me, a pea-sized piece of paste usually means a piece that will fit through the largest hole of your petal pad. It'll fit. Well, that's... Could use a little dye at that pea, huh? So I'll pinch off just a little bit more of that. I'm going to massage it to get it pliable. It's a little bit sticky, so I'll put a little vegetable shortening on there. I'll roll it into a small sausage, just a little bit of a small sausage, and then put that on my dry wire. So I'm not moistening this with gum glue. I'm inserting this into a dry wire about 2/3 of the way. And then I'm going to mold this into a carrot shape. So the wire is moving freely in my left hand as I rotate and pinch it with my right hand. And I want it in a length, a carrot shape length of about 3/4 of an inch. Let me get my ruler, see how we're doing. So there's 3/4 of an inch. It's about that. Then I'm going to take the dog bone tool, and I'm going to take the small side of the dog bone tool, and holding the wider end of the column against my index finger for support, I'm going to make an indentation. Notice that the wider end of the dog bone tool is facing outward. I'm just going to make an indentation there. I'm not pulling, just indenting. Then I like to give it a little bit of a pinch, just a thin on either side, and curve inward. Then I'm going to take a really small piece of yellow paste. Really tiny. This is the ovary. You could paint this in if you really didn't want to bother, but I think it looks nice to put this in. So the size, if you look in relation, it's a little bit bigger than a pinhead. And I'll massage this just to get it pliable, roll it into a ball between my fingers, and then using a toothpick, I'm going to pick it up, paint the back of it with just a dot of gum glue, put it on the inside of my ovary, twist the toothpick to release it, and then take the toothpick right down the center and press in gently to form like an ovary. And I'll set this aside while I make my throat.